First and foremost, want to begin by giving all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rachaha Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders, a great millstone who do well. Peace, blessing to the sincere Akim, mainly the elect brethren who pushing the shoot on the four corners of the youth, giving all diligence to make the calling and election sure. And today's topic, I just want to touch on the word or going to a lesson in Acts, the 12th chapter. Alright, concerning the word that have Easter Day, which is an incorrect word that is not supposed to be there. Alright, but the Lord willing, this lesson be edifying. Alright, as the Lord put his spirit upon me to meditate upon it. Alright, and that's going to put it down into the spiritual realm. So this Revelations 22 and verses 18, it says, "For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of this prophecy of this book. If any man shall add unto these things, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai shall take away his part out of the book of life, and out of the holy city, and from the things which are written in this book." Now with that being said, alright, those that who added to this book with the different translations and trying all different kind of ways to try and stop the Lord people from receiving this knowledge, starting with the elect, there is nothing that you could have done, because the scripture talks about a great and exceeding army. Alright, and when it goes into verse 19, where it says, "If any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy concerning you men," alright, "who preach heresies," alright, not to stray off topic, but just touching on it, like the RFID microchip is not the mark of the beast. You men who preaching that is not the mark of the beast, alright, that is heresies. And the Most High said that way. He said Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai shall take away his part out of the book of life. So he ain't going to make it in the first go wrong. Alright, with the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai is going to gather his elect. It says, "and out of the holy city, and from the things which are written in this book." So without further ado, just going to go into the book of Acts chapter 12, alright, and verses 1, because this was a time where the Acts of the Apostles, which I believe the book of Acts was written by Luke, alright, and this is something that was happening to the Apostle Paul, to the Apostle Peter, alright, the head of the church. It says, "Now about," I read it in the KJV, it says, "Now about the time Herod the king stretched forth his hand to vex certain of the church, and he killed James the brother of John with the sword, and because he saw it pleased the Jews," alright, which would have go into like the wicked scribes and Pharisees, and to the wicked of our people, alright, because what would have been happening? What would have been happening would have been great rebuke, alright, great rebuke would have been happening. And then now the Apostle Paul, alright, so like the Apostle Peter would have had the dream in Acts the 10th chapter, alright, with Cornelius, and then the understanding would have been imputed unto him, which the Lord have opened his eyes to show, "Call not anything common nor unclean," you know, which were our people who were scattered far off, which the Jews know, alright, but many of them were wicked, alright, because the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai had the spirit of what? Reproof. The spirit of reproof coming their way. So this is Amos chapter 5 and verse 10. It says, "They hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly." Alright, so this was the case with the Apostle Peter. Alright, they hate him because what he said, it pleased many of the Jews when they see Herod, alright, when they see Herod, kill James. So I'll just go back to the scripture. It says, "And he killed James the brother of John with the sword, and because he saw it pleased the Jews, he proceeded further to take Peter also. Then were the days of unleavened bread. Alright, so I was now in this like about 2 minutes ago. Alright, and I actually had the word Easter. Alright, they actually had the word, oh, select. It's actually right lower down the other verse. It says, and when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison and delivered him to the four coordinations of the soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people. Alright, now this word Easter was an entry of whoever tried or whoever did the translation was added in. Alright, we ain't talking about King James. Alright, we're talking about the elites who have the control, alright, or the hard copy of these things, even though you might see KJV. Alright, so without further ado, Lord have me just look up some things. Alright, when you're going to the word Easter, alright, it will actually carry back to the Greek word called Pashak. Alright, so the word Easter there would not have been Easter, because remember, this is the feast of unleavened bread, which the first day, alright, of the month, which will signify the new year. Alright, and on the 15th day of the same month will be the Passover. Alright, which was a customary thing all Israel must do, as written in Deuteronomy. Alright, 3 times for the year, we all go up for what? To Jerusalem. Alright, so when you're going to that word Easter, you will get the word Pashak. Alright, so it says originally a Saxon word, Estore, denoting a goddess of the Saxons, in honor of whom sacrifices were offered about the time of the Passover. Hence the name came to be given to the festival of the resurrection of the anointed, which occurred at the time of the Passover. In the early English version, this word was frequently used as the translation of the Greek Pashak, the Passover. When the Authorized Version 1611 was formed, the word Passover was used in all passages in which this word Pashak occurred, except in Acts 12 and 4. In the Revised Version, the proper word Passover is always used. Alright, so now to try to implement some sort of idolatry, alright, because when you're going to that Easter, alright, it says originally, we're gonna go down to it. It says originally Dionysus was the Greek god of fertility. Later he came to be known chiefly as the god of wine and pleasure. The Romans called him Bacchus. It says Dionysius was the son of the supreme god Zeus and Shamil, the daughter of a king. Right now, all these is Greek mythology, alright, and idols that some of our people would have been in great folly. So I just want to go down. Right, I actually had it here, because this Easter god actually stemmed from this here. It says Ayana is the ancient Sumerian goddess of love, sensuality, fertility, procreation, and also of war. She later became identified by the Achaeans and the Assyrian as the goddess Ishtar, and further with the Hittite Sukkah, the Phoenician Ashtoreth, and the Greeks Aphrodite, among many others. Now Ishtar is the god of fertility. Alright, that is the god of fertility, which around this time, they believe some bunny come and lay an egg, which is all folly. Alright, so that was imputed there in the scriptures on an idolatry level. And now the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, alright, put his spirit upon his men, those that serve him in spirit and in truth, alright, to search all these matters and to show these errors. Because many of our people, alright, who who in Christianity believe, all right, in some Easter bunny and the hot cross buns, which goes back to Tammuz, which was happening in the book of Ezekiel, the 8th chapter. He saw people weeping for who? Tammuz, all right, or Soramus, all right. But this is not the case. According to the scriptures, this is a solemn feast, all right, which is to be upheld through all the generation of Israel after the memorial of which the Lord did in the time of Egypt. And what is the Lord did in the time of Egypt, all right, to his people? He passed over Israel and he slew all the firstborn, all right, of the Egyptian. And that account is in the scriptures. And we had to put what? The blood on the lintel of our doorpost. And that blood was a signification, all right, of the believers in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And the Lord said to what? To do this as a memorial. You know, so they try to input Easter there, all right, to bring in paganism, all right, because this is something that Esau craftily does. And as the scripture says in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 14 and verse 14, it says, let's jump a verse up. It says, verse 12, it says, for the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, and the invention of them the corruption of life. All right, so by inputting Easter Day, a lot of our people would not go and what? Search out a matter. So just bear me a quick seconds. All right, a lot of our people wouldn't go and search out the matter, in the sense of they wouldn't go into the etymology, all right, of the word, as we're going to do in a little bit. I just want to read this precept. There's the book of Proverbs chapter 25 and verse 2. It says, it is the glory of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai to conceal a thing, but the honor of kings is to search out a matter. And this is what the Lord have put the Spirit upon the hopeful elect, or the elect, the men that who standing now there speaking boldly. All right, Lord willing, we part of our number. All right, because the elect here today prophesying the truth. Prophesying the truth, and the scripture says that. All right, he says that the Lord said that he's going to stir up our minds. He's going to stir up our minds to remembering, all right, our heritage, to remembering the right way. This 2 Peter 3 and 1. It says, this second epistle, beloved, I now write unto you, in both which I stir up your pure minds by a way of remembrance. Remembrance of what? Remembrance of the Lord's statutes and commandments. All right, so therefore when we come into this, all right, we come into this ministry, the Lord comes in and sup with us. The angels increase our understanding, which the angels is the embodiment of Salak. The Ruach HaKodesh is the embodiment of angels, all right, which are set up to pass understanding. And to prove that, let's go to Daniel chapter 8 and verses 15. It says, and it came to pass, when even I, Daniel, had seen the vision and sought for the meaning, then behold, there stood before me as the appearance of a man, and I heard a man's voice between the banks of Eula, which called and said, Gabriel, make this man to understand the vision. And this is what happening now. The Lord making us to understand, all right, the things which are pleasing unto him. So now we could boldly, all right, as the scripture says, the righteous is as bold as a lion. So we could boldly, which boldly means confident, we could confidently, all right, go into these words and show, well, hey, this is not what this word's supposed to be. This here is an error. All right, this here is an error. This here is not correct. All right, and now bring the correct understanding via the Ruach HaKodesh. And this is what they have set up for a lot of our people, all right, who believe in these Christian churches, all right, because they know you're gonna get hot cross buns in these churches around this time, you know. So I just want to go back to Acts 12 and just pull that word there. Let's see what I have here on this one. So that Easter here from G3957, Pashak, which means Passover. Alright, the Paschal sacrifice, which was accustomed to be offered for the people's deliverance of old from Egypt. It says, and that happened, the Lord delivered the children of Israel out of Egypt. Alright, it says the Paschal lamb, the lamb the Israelites were accustomed to slay and eat on the 14th day of the month of Nisan, which is the first month, Salakia. I want to say Salakia, I said 15th, or is it 14th day? My bad, Salakia. Alright, the 14th day at Eve. So he says, the first month of the year, in memory of the day on which their fathers, preparing to depart from Egypt, were bidden by God Yahweh to slay and eat a lamb and to sprinkle their doorposts with its blood. That destroying angel, which our angel was Yahweh Shai El Shaddai, which means what? A demon-like power. Alright, and he's going to do it again. Isaiah 11:11. The Lord said he's going to stretch forth his hand the second time. And that second time, alright, ain't going to be a good time. That time is going to be a time of famine, pestilence, World War III. Alright, and before that, the RFID microchip, Jacob trouble. Alright, it says that the destroying angel, seeing the blood, might pass over their dwellings. Yahweh Shai crucified is likened to the slain Paschal lamb, which would break down the middle partition. For now we have what? An advocate. Alright? And this what our Lord Yahweh Shai did was only for the Bokarium, was only for the chosen. Alright? He didn't come and do this for all Israel to get saved one time. He did this for the elect, and through the elect, all Israel going to be saved. Alright? It says, Yahweh Shai crucified and likened to the slain Paschal lamb. Alright? It says the Paschal feast, which is Passover. The feast of the Passover extended from the 14th to the 20th day of the month Nisan. Alright? So there we go. So when you go into that word Easter, you'll get the word Pashak, and it gives some beautiful definitions, alright, on what it is. So this is the reason why the scripture also says, study to show thyself approved. Study to show thyself approved. So you ain't gonna be going in no church, alright, eating hot cross buns, alright, and having Easter eggs, which bunnies eggs don't even lay, rabbit don't even lay eggs, which they don't even understand the level of idolatry, alright, that these so-called churches push. That's the reason why the Lord called them what? Harlot houses. The Lord called these so-called churches harlot houses in Jeremiah the 5th chapter. For this same said reason, because there's a lot of idolatry and no truth there. Alright? No truth there. So hopefully this lesson was edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Makar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the Lazar great millstone, who do rule well. Peace, blessing to the Cynthia Akim, many the elect virgin the question history 24 corners of the youth, giving all diligence to make the calling and election sure. Shalom. Mawat la babal, abad babal.